Peace and love, everyone. I am here to talk about my journey traveling through my 7 chakras, balancing my chakras, and wanted to just give what I learned about the chakras as I went on this self-imposed journey of balancing my own chakras. So first and foremost, the general consensus about chakras is I think people, they know a little bit about it. They figure that, yes, you know, it must be something that I need to know about, but it's not often spoken about in any place of education. You know, you're not learning about it in school. You know, your mom and dad are probably not talking about chakras. I mean, maybe this generation more so, but I know I never heard of chakras. I didn't get introduced into the whole concept of chakras until I started working with gemstones. And what was happening was I was researching gemstones, and in a portion of the document or whatever I was reading, it would talk about what chakra that gemstone works with or helps. And so I'm like, chakra, what are these chakras? And also I started hearing friends of mine who are fellow healers, like my Reiki master, even massage therapists, they were talking about chakras. So I began to become very interested in what is this deal about chakras. And so some years ago I started doing just basic research, and what I found out is basically these are energy centers within your body that impacts you holistically, mentally, spiritually, physically. It was more so the research that I began to do was more so talking about the physical impact that the chakras have on you. It wasn't until I really started studying it on a metaphysical and spiritual, emotional type of thing, type of impact, that I started to really see how holistically the chakras really do impact you. So I was very excited to do this. I had gone to a Reiki specialist and had gotten some work done, and she said, you know, I think it would just do you well if you really focus on your whole chakra set. So I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, she said it's not like, you know, they're not closed or anything, but it would behoove you to work on your chakras. So this is what sparked me to do the 30 days that I did do. If you haven't checked it out yet, the reflections, I did reflections on all of the chakras. It's on my YouTube channel, so make sure you go there and check out those reflections as I traveled through each one. I went in depth, studied each one, chose some things that I would do, some affirmations, meditations, gemstones, aura sprays that I created while I journeyed through each one. And I shared my reflections of that healing process as I went through. Some amazing things happened. Really a lot of shifts in consciousness. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my body. I learned a lot about the chakras, of course, but I also learned a lot about our relationship to the world around us, you know, from nature to the people around us to just energy, you know, that we store within us and amongst our family and things of that nature. So check out those reflections, and of course while you're here, make sure you subscribe, because I will be posting a little bit more in the coming future, because I do have some other things that I want to personally work on, and I'm going to share some reflection about those too. The next thing being gemstones, and I'm going to do 30 days of gemstones. Beautiful. Anyway, so here's my summary of each chakra. I want to mention before I even get started that there were definitely some misconceptions about, at least I had some misconceptions about each one of the chakras. I would say each one of them. One of the main misconceptions that I think I had was that the root chakra was all about sexuality. That's the first chakra. Well, first of all, I had a misconception that the first chakra was crown chakra. And it's not, it's root chakra. Then I thought the root chakra was all about sexuality, was all about, I thought it was the kundalini, you know, all of those type of things, and I was absolutely wrong. It's actually not. the root chakra is about grounding, like your place here on earth. And how I saw it in the way that I began to look at it and think about it after I did the research is, this is the chakra, the energy where our spiritual being meets the human experience. This is where that is. This is where it's like almost like, you were already a being before you got here, and then you got here on this earth to be a conscious human being. And so the root chakra is where your grounding is. So the root chakra challenges you to look at your relationship with nature, look at your relationship with your place here on earth. It also challenges you to see what makes you feel like you can thrive and survive. Do you feel like you're in just survival mode all the time? Do you feel like you have everything you need? And I think one of the main things that the root chakra really helps you to see is that you don't want to attach to things in order to feel like you have a place in this world. You want to attach to being here in this world and what this world is all about. What is nature all about? Connecting yourself with nature. How do you and the tree relate? How do you and the animals relate? How do you and gemstones relate? How do those things impact you? And that there is where your sound survival is, your sound thriving is. And so working with that root chakra energy, I found that it was very impactful to do a lot of grounding, literally taking my shoes off, going to walk in the grass, hugging trees. I was doing a lot of hiking and a lot of meditation with reflecting upon our relationship with the world around us, with the sea, with the ocean. What does the ocean speak to you? What proverbs, what lessons do these things teach us? And those are our grounding principles to help us to survive in this world. Not what we have generally been taught, which is, get an education, get things, be in relationships. It's all these things that we attach ourselves to that make us feel like we are doing well, or we're successful, or we're surviving or thriving, when actually that's not it. We should connect with the world around us first, get those grounding principles, those things that will keep us going and thriving, even if we lose everything, even if everything that we had just go up in flame, or we lose our relationships or whatever, we can still feel grounded on this earth. So that's root chakra. I kind of just jumped right in. Then went to the sacral chakra, and this is actually where the sensuality and sexuality and that creating energy is. That energy that gets us to do something and create things, and it was interesting because one word that a keyword for the sacral chakra, some of the keywords, because what I did is pulled out some keywords for each chakra. Some of the keywords in that sacral chakra, which is right above your root chakra. And let me just go back a little bit. The root chakra is at the bottom, like the bottom of your feet, all the way up to where your groin is. That's that root chakra energy there. And that's where you want to do the work when you work on that root chakra energy. I think for me with that root chakra energy, the best work that I did use gemstones, the tourmaline. I just kind of laid down after my shower in the evening time and just kind of laid the tourmaline by the root chakra, did some grounding meditation. But what I more so think worked well is the meditation, and meditating on, what is my relationship with the world around me? How grateful I am for the world around me, and what are the lessons that the ocean, the sun, the moon, the plants, the animals teach me? What are those different things? That was my meditation for the root chakra. Now, back to the sacral chakra. Some of the keywords for sacral chakra was life force, creative energy, kundalini. It's the seat of inspiration, and sensuality. Now, I wanted to look at that sensuality piece because in this society, sensuality, sexuality, anything dealing with sex is still somewhat taboo. Ironically, so much of media and the capitalistic system thrives off of sexuality and sensuality, sex sells, but it's still somewhat taboo. You're not really openly talking about it with your children, and you're definitely not talking about it in a metaphysical way. It's more on that kind of physical, romantic, that kind of way. But I think it will behoove us to learn more about what sensuality and sexuality, the deeper meaning and the deeper essence that's in that. And what I found as I studied those words, sensuality, I wanted to see what's the etymology, where did that word come from, what is the metaphysical meaning of the word. I did that with a lot of the keywords just to make sure that I'm on point with how I'm understanding what that chakra is all about, which is very important. And it was funny because sensuality, right, I looked at the etymology and it says sensuality is the part of man that is connected with the senses, the feeling. Sacral chakra is all about what you feel, your feeling. And why that is so important to be balanced is because what you feel is what you begin to emote. And as you emote, you begin that spark of manifestation. So what you start to feel, you emote. So if you're feeling something and it's making you sad, you're going to emote sadness. Mad, you're going to emote madness. Peace, happiness, you're going to emote that. And what you emote is what you get back. It's what you manifest. So that sacral chakra is very important to be in tune with. But what I realize is when you talk about sensuality and sexuality, and if you are inundated with all these negative things about sensuality and sexuality, and it's suppressed, or you really feel like you're not tuned into it, which a lot of people suffer with that because either their religion tell them it's wrong, or society is telling them it's wrong, or they're imbalanced. They're mostly talking about it on the physical sense of it than the spiritual or the deeper sense of what sensuality and sexuality is really all about, which is tapping into your inner vibration, that feeling, what your whole vibration is made up of is what you feel. That's why it's very important for you to stay balanced and to stay doing things that make you happy and to stay doing things that make you peaceful, because if you emote anything that's opposite of that, then you're going to start seeing a reality that breeds madness, sadness, depression, lack of confidence. So with the sacral chakra, I thought it was very powerful for me to just kind of look at what I thought sensuality is and what role that plays in my life, and sexuality and my creative energy and my emotions and my feelings. I started to really look at what I'm feeling about every area of my life. Like, how do I feel about, are there any feelings that I am not addressing? Is there something that I need to address, and things like that. So with that sacral chakra, it is out of balance, or and for your chakras, it can either be overactive or underactive or balanced. You want it to be balanced. That's your goal. If your sacral chakra is overactive, then you are one that you're really caught up in sex. You're overly sexual. You are overly emotional. You feel really deeply. You may be an overworker. You're always trying to do, because the sacral chakra also is that energy that makes you feel and be inspired and do something. You're feeling something, and usually feelings spark you to do something. Whether that's positive or negative, feelings actually spark you to do something. So that's where that chakra is. So if it's overworking, you never feel satisfied. You're always wanting, you're always feeling, you're always working, you always feel like it's just with some of those over efforters, you just put way too much effort into it. While the underactive sacral chakra causes you hardly to do anything, suppress your feelings, never really voice your feelings, never really accept feelings, stifle your feelings, bury them and not address them. You may feel depressed. You may feel like you're not inspired. Maybe feel like you have no purpose. You don't know. You're kind of lost in life. And the overactive, you feel like you're kind of chaotic. You're sporadic. You're everywhere. Ever felt like you just scattered? Like, I just got so many ideas, I don't know where to go. And you done started 10 projects and nothing is done. Everything is just started. That might be that overactive sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is also where that creativity is as well. So it's very important to get that balance. A great thing to do while you're working with that sacral chakra is to study, first of all, your own sexuality, your sensuality. Definitely reflect upon your feelings about life. You know, realize what makes you happy, what makes you peaceful, what makes you feel like you are thriving in life. What is your purpose? Do you know your purpose? You know, and meditation. Of course, meditation, what I found throughout the whole chakra center, all of the chakras, is meditation. Meditation to really quiet your mind, do some reflection. You can use color, you know, to think about. As you meditate, you can use color, put the color of the chakra in your mind, let it float down to that chakra, which the sacral chakra is around the navel area, and you just kind of let it rest over there. And the color is orange, and the gemstone being the carnelian. So you take that orange color and you just kind of visualize that orange color floating through your body over to your chakra, and let it kind of just go around your chakra. The chakra is like a wheel, so the color can kind of, I always visualize the color kind of traveling around that area, my whole navel and kind of stomach area. I just visualize it going around there. Same with the root chakra being red. You can utilize that as well, the color meditation. All right, so moving along, that solar plexus, right? So all right, so you think about root chakra, that is your place here on earth, you know, your grounding, your stamp. I am here and I am ready to create. Then that sacral chakra energy gives you that energy to create. It helps you to tap into what you feel like your inner self is telling you you're here for, what you feel like you're here for. Then that solar plexus is the energy that allows that to shine. So I usually call that my ashe. That's my ashe chakra. You know what I mean? That's the energy where, you know, whatever you have within you, it's going to come out into this universe. You know, you're going to see it start to manifest. So that sacral chakra stones, things like citrine, the sun stones, what they call the sun stones, which are citrine, zebradorite, all those solar plexus stones, because the solar plexus is like your sun. You are the living sun. Your solar plexus is like the sun within you. The sun gives energy. The sun shines. The sun warms. And so that's that light that you are giving off into the universe. And that light can either be bright and positive, or that light can not be so positive at all. You know what I mean? And that solar plexus is right there below the chest, between the navel and the chest bone. And you know, when your solar plexus is underactive, you kind of feel shy, you feel depressed, you kind of feel sad, you know, you don't feel real powerful, you know, you feel like you can be overpowered easily. And when it's overactive, you know, you are what comes off, look, it literally comes off as maybe abrasive. You know, you want to force people to see your light. You know, you want to force people to see your shine, and you don't have to do that. You know, when it's balanced, you're just able to walk in your grace. You're able to walk in your light. And so a good meditation for that solar plexus is, of course, meditation where you visualizing that yellow bright light right around your solar plexus is shining outward. You can also speak affirmations, you know, about your magnetivity. I am a positivity magnet, you know. I vibrate nothing but good and essence. I love to shine, you know. I appreciate my shine. I appreciate my power, you know. I use my power for good. I use my power for love. I use my power to help others. And if you are dealing with the imbalanced solar plexus, you know, you can speak affirmations like, may I be in tune with my inner shine, you know. May I shine brighter than ever before. You know, speak affirmations into existence so that you can feel like you can shine. So that's that solar plexus. And what I didn't talk about with the other chakras is there are foods that you can eat to help balance the different chakras, and the colors help you out. So that solar plexus is yellow. So you deal with yellow foods like lemon, banana. I dealt with yellow flowers as well as I was doing that chakra. I bought yellow flowers in the house, kept them around as I was working on that chakra. Really visualized myself when I'm meditating. I visualize a light shining around me as if I'm literally like the sun floating through the world, you know, doing my thing, being who I am meant to be as I am here in this physical plane. So that is the solar plexus, and some of those keywords were shine, you know, reflection, what reflection you're giving off, some kind of reflection. So human light, like light was a good one. And your solar plexus is also like your vibration, you know, what you vibrate. What are you vibrating? Ask yourself, what are you vibrating? Do I feel powerful? I call it my ashe. And this is your human magnetivity as well. This is what is going to attract things into your life. So what you're putting off, but remember, a lot of that energy you're putting off through your solar plexus is coming from what you have in the seat of your inspiration, which is your sacral chakra. So if your sacral chakra is off, you may see, you know, things coming through that solar plexus vibrating and really attracting things you don't really want in your life. So I found it very important. I thought it was amazing how I found it very important that you balance your chakras, you know, and I think spot work on your chakras, like, you know, spotty work where you work on your heart chakra here and there, you work on your root chakra, something like that is good. But I think at least, I would say I'm going to do this at least once per year. I'm going to focus on all of my chakras. I think I'm going to do that. I thought it was very powerful. I mean, I saw some great benefit from that. All right, so the next one after that solar plexus is dun dun dun. This is the one that I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to work on it. I know it's all about love, and I have this thing like I love to love, I love to be loved, but matters of the heart are like kind of scary to me, you know. It's like once you open yourself up to people and you love them, and then things happen because life happens, and now you're hurt, and you know. So I was kind of like, but I'm so grateful that I got a better understanding about the heart chakra. So first and foremost, heart chakra is of course by your heart. It's in your chest. You know, anytime I'm doing my heart chakra work, I just lay my hand on my chest and I take some breaths first, and I allow the energy to go to my heart, you know, and I try to feel what love feels like, and that's warmth, that is love, that's appreciation, that's adoration. So that is in your chest. It's green. The color is green. The stone that I used was rose quartz. That's a really good one. But I also use some of the green stones. I use chrysoprase, and I also use the green calcite for that work. An affirmation. Here was the affirmation that I used for that one. But before I go to the affirmation, let me just talk about that keyword love. You know, heart chakra is talking about the love, and I thought it was very important for me to really get into what does that word love really mean, right? Because I think we do have some misconceptions of what love means. I know I just wondered, you know, throughout my life, what does love really mean? You know, I know what it feels like, I think. What does it really mean? So I went metaphysically to look at what does the word love mean metaphysically. And metaphysically, love is more so divine love, which is what I like to tap into. I like to tap into the divinity of things. We are inundated with the third dimensional human side of things. I like to tap into the divinity of things, the metaphysics of things, the higher level of things, so that we can bring balance to this human experience and not be down here just fumbling around as a human, but tap into our spiritual self, which is first. We're spiritual beings first, having a human experience. So divine love is your ability to be able to appreciate everything, you know, everything. Appreciate everything, see the divinity in everything, see the beauty in everything, and the amazing qualities of things that have manifested in this world, of things around you, of people, of situations, you know, being able to appreciate it, being able to see the good in everything, being able to accept that everything, nothing is like by chance, you know, nothing is ironic, everything is divine, everything is connected, everything is because of something, you know what I mean? There's nothing ironic, you know. So from the smallest thing, you know, like if you're out in nature and you see a little small plant that you never saw before, or, you know, don't know anything about. Like, that is a divine creation. It's there for a reason. You know, there's nothing on earth that's here for no reason, you know. So where that really hit home was, you know, we're so attached to things and to people, and we have expectations, and we get disappointed, and things happen in our life, and we're like trying to figure out why is it happening. And when we get disappointed with our loved ones, we get upset with them, we hold grudges, we may have broken relationships, all those different things. But when you really appreciate everything, including situations, things, people around you, you're able to accept people for who they are. You're able to accept their stories. You're able to accept situations. You're able to, you know, pick yourself up after what we consider to be a fall, because you understand that there's a reason in it all. There's a lesson in it all. And so love is deeper than just a feeling of, you know, that romantic feeling that people talk about with love. Even if you look at the love with your mom and your father, you know, appreciating who they are, you know, and understanding that love is not saying that my mom's supposed to love me as a duty bound. Love is just an appreciation, whether it's your mother or any other woman. You know, that's how you can appreciate other women just as much as you appreciate your mother, or other men just as much as you appreciate your father or your brother, you know. And that's how you can become less attached to things, in a sense where you get so disappointed, so hurt, so down when things don't quite go your way, or things don't really meet your expectations and things like that. You can just accept it as something. It is what it is, you know. Give thanks. I give thanks in spite of it all. So that's really where the love is, and that's what heart chakra is all about. And get this, heart chakra is the center chakra. So it actually impacts the lower and the upper. You know, it keeps it balanced. So that heart chakra is very, very important. It's almost like it's the balance. And so your ability to be able to relax, you know, and appreciate everything and everything around you and connect is very important to keep you balanced, even down to how you shine, your feelings, how you feel about things. You know, so you can imagine how much heart chakra impacts those, and you can imagine how vice versa, how if you're feeling, if you're not addressing your feelings, your heart chakra can be impacted. It could start to be underactive, where you're not able to appreciate, you don't feel the love in people or in things, or just love in general. If you feel like you are not loved, it's not necessarily that someone doesn't love you. You don't feel like you are appreciated in the world in general. And you have a lot of people that's like that. They don't feel the appreciation at all, from mom, dad, sister, brother, workers, friends, nothing. They just never really feel, you know, appreciated. And they are ones that usually are not very grateful either. They don't give a lot of gratitude. So definitely love, heart chakra is a seat of gratitude. With the affirmation that I chose, it says, I am kind to myself. I allow love to fill me up and guide me in all my actions. I am able to let go of the past, to forgive myself and others. I love myself and others fearlessly. And that's so important in order to be able to walk this world in a blissful way. Because if not, if you're really holding on to the past, that causes resentment, that causes problems, not only emotional and spiritually, but physical problems. You know, you start getting different illnesses, diseases, because your heart chakra is thrown off. You know, your heart is hurt. You know, you hear people passing away of a broken heart. You know what I mean? Good meditation for that is definitely to be able to relax. And the meditation I like the best with the heart chakra is to go out in nature and just look around and really try to appreciate everything you see in nature. Everything you see. Even if it's a person out there, like, try to appreciate that person. You know, like, that person had some kind of impact on somebody's life throughout their life. So give thanks for their energy. But also in nature, just as you observe the river, as you observe the ocean, as you observe the sun, as you observe the moon, how are these impacting our lives? How are these a blessing? All right, yes, so the heart chakra meditation that I really enjoyed was sitting out in nature and just being able to appreciate everything around me. You know, really looking at the river, looking at the ocean, looking at the moon, looking at the sun, thinking to myself, how does this relate to me? What lessons can I learn from the sun, the moon, you know, the birds, caterpillars? You know, that's when the totems come in. You know, it's really helpful for the totems to come in. But also I did a scripting or a journal writing where I just named everything in my life. You know, I just put my car, my house, my mom, my father, you know, friends, things, you know, and I wrote why I appreciate those things. And that was a powerful journaling activity to help me really connect with my love and appreciation for just life in general, life around me, you know. So that's the heart chakra and kind of how I worked on that. Again, the meditation was some of the most powerful things that I used in order to balance it. I did realize that I had some, I just saw imbalance, not necessarily, I can't really identify whether it's overactive or underactive, but I did feel like that inner standard that I received helped me to really balance that out. And so I'm very excited. I was very excited about that. Next after the heart chakra is your throat chakra. So throat chakra, you know, I think, so the throat chakra is right here in your, you know, your neck area where your throat is. And when you think about your throat chakra, it's talking about your speech, you know, you speaking. And you know what I knew about the throat chakra was definitely if it's imbalanced and you may feel a level of, you don't feel like people understand you, that you can't really speak your truth comfortably, or you just don't speak at all. You know, you either really I guess I won't say overspeak, it's like you really push to have people to hear you. So you know, I saw a lot of descriptions of that overactive chakra was people who speak very loudly, people who can't allow other people to speak, they always talking over people, or you know, they feel like they're never being heard or understood. Then you have those who don't speak at all. You know, you have to pull something out of them. They usually don't tell you anything, you know, no feelings, nothing. So I thought about that, the speak, you know, speech, which is very powerful because this power of the tongue is very powerful. Once you speak something, it certainly manifests. So it is important for you to keep a balanced chakra so that you are speaking things that you'd like to see manifest in your life and not the opposite. You know, you don't want to keep speaking anything you don't want. So I looked at the concept of divine speech. You know, divine speech is you speaking from your inner self. That what is pure. You know, that is void of fear. That is void of worrying about what other people think, or you're not saying the right thing. And also that is genuinely confident. So not speaking something where you are just overcompensating because you actually feel insecure. But that divine speech is you speaking something that you're very confident about, comfortable about, and that's life in general. And so that divine speech should come out in all what you speak. So, you know, we're very loose with our tongues and we get a little comfortable with our tongue sometimes. And if we listen to ourselves, we're saying things that are not so divine, that are not really what our heart is saying to us, what our gut is saying to us. So a good exercise for that throat chakra was just me being watchful for the days. I worked on each chakra for 4 days. So for each day, I was just very watchful of what I was speaking about throughout the day, you know, the kind of words that I was using. I really started to research power words. I started looking at these love frequency words and the healing frequency words, you know, that 528 frequency words, things like love, you know, passion, compassionate. It's a list. It's actually a list of words. If you look it up, I think it will come up. 528 hertz words or love frequency words. And I just started to consciously sprinkle those words in my communication with others and things. And it was powerful. You know, you can see how, as I was watchful of how I speak to people, even just the simplest greetings. How are you? It's a lovely day, isn't it? Oh, I'm feeling very blessed. And how, you know, just whatever it might be. it emotes a certain level of energy, the words that you speak to people. Even in my interactions with some of my clients during that week, I can just see how my consciousness, like, about that, and even speaking to them about it, like trying out those type of words, it was very powerful. So throat chakra color is blue, so a meditation that you can use is definitely that basic meditation that I have been saying, where you can breathe in, just relax, allow your mind to rest, and visualize that blue kind of going around in a circle around your throat, you know, or even just sitting there in the middle of your throat and vibrating outward. You can visualize that. You can also write down, catch yourself when you're saying words that you don't mean, you know, or I did evaluate some of the writing prompts I had, because I did writing prompts throughout this time as well. One of the writing prompts for this one is there something that I want to express that I'm not expressing? Is there something I want to say, whether to someone else or to myself, that I'm not saying? I also challenged myself to reflect, am I really speaking my divine truth about my desires in this world? And that made me kind of go back to the heart chakra a little bit, back to the sacral chakra a little bit, seeing how I'm feeling about certain things, to see if I'm speaking my divine truth. So that was a beautiful chakra to work on. And it became clear as I began to go upward in these chakras, how I'm coming closer and closer to the connection with my spiritual self as I address this energy. So it was powerful, because at that chakra I did clearly realize that as we get to our voice, and as we get to our first eye and our crown chakra, which I'll talk about in a second, we are getting closer and closer to the Most High, you know, the divinity. And that makes sense, because we're now in the upper chakras. The lower chakras is more about earthly things, while the upper chakras are going towards your spiritual self, your spiritual being. If you are, I think I just spoke about overactive, underactive in that, and the oils that I use, because I haven't been talking about the oils that I've been using and the other ones that I reflected upon, and the gemstones as well. But the oils that I used for that one was basil, bergamot, you know, those two. That was my first time using bergamot, and chamomile. That was interesting. And the stone that I used for that one was the blue apatite. I love that stone. You know, that stone helps you to, it definitely is a stone that helps you to speak your divine truth, you know, to make sure that you are channeling something divine before you speak, and not so attached to ego. Ego was a big thing that I addressed during this 30-day challenge, because we're so connected to our ego, our earthly self, our identity, that we're so disconnected from who we really are, you know, our inner being, which should be pure and righteous and balanced and peaceful, and then come outward and become what we see as our human selves. So yeah, this has been a powerful journey with that. So the next one is what I call first eye. It's called by many third eye, but I call it the first eye, and I thought that was important to distinguish, because we are taught to look through, and this is where this chakra is where I started to be very clear about how much we are so attached to our ego. But we are taught to only consider third dimension. And mind you, as babies, as children, we're multidimensional. You know, you have children who have imaginary friends. You got children. Most people who become like mediums and what people call psychic or just spiritual beings, they had experiences as children where they saw things, heard things, felt things. You have people like empaths that can feel things, you know, and they sometimes hide it or don't know how to deal with it and take it on, and you know, it really becomes something that's a stressor for them. But it's because we are not just meant to focus in on third dimension. We're not meant to just look through these physical eyes. We're meant to feel. We're meant to use our intuition, our instincts, and that's where this first eye come in, you know, that forcing us or challenging us to feel our way through life and stop trying to see our way through life, you know. And yes, I am saying close your eyes sometimes, you know. Don't look at the situation just from the eye, the physical eye, what it looks like. Because if you get so caught up in what things look like, many times you won't move forward. You just won't move forward, because it's like reality is you can't do this and this. This is what realistically all I have is this in on my credit, or as a credit score. I don't have this degree, or I don't have, and we're so worried about what's happening right here, what we can see, when we don't even take the time to feel our way through something. If you have a desire, and yeah, it may take certain things that you don't have, but if you really feel that, stay with that feeling. You know, try to see it, try to feel it, try to hear it, and allow it to manifest in your life. And that's when these things like miracles start to happen. So anyway, that was kind of a soapbox. But the first eye, with that one, as I worked on that one, the stones was amethyst. It's a very popular stone for the first eye, but also labradorite is a very good stone for that first eye. But with that first eye, you know it's a little imbalanced if you don't really, you can't really tap into your intuition. You don't really feel like your intuition is helpful, or like you don't really feel things are just happening to you. You know, you don't know what's coming. You know, you're just getting hit. You're getting hit with things over and over again. You haven't seen anything coming, so that's not a good thing. And the first eye, you know, you want to challenge yourself to be able to tap into your inner self, your inner sight, your inner feeling, which is that intuition. So a good meditation is for you to meditate in darkness. You know, close your eyes and just listen to the world around you. Maybe put your mind on something and just try your best to visualize that. So maybe you're trying to manifest in your life, so you would close your eyes and you would do some breathing. Always the breath helps to center you, it helps to balance you, it helps to clear your mind. And then put your mind on that house, on that car, on that job, on that healing, on that relationship, and visualize it. And you should be able to get that vision. You know, you should be able to hear, you should be able to feel, you know, that thing. And that's when you know that you're on your way to manifestation. So that first eye challenges you to do that. I really love the first eye chakra work that I was doing, because it really helped me to truly appreciate my spiritual being. You know, the fact that we are literally spiritual beings having a human experience. So all of this energy that we have within us, I did a lot of meditation where I was able to feel the energy in my hands, feel the energy going through my body, and just appreciating that I am this ball of energy, this ball of intelligence. You know, from the cells in my body have a certain level of intelligence, all the way to my organs, to my brain, to my breath. You know, everything has a level of intelligence that's already within, and it's helping me to live the reality that I desire to live. So it really helped to reinforce that all power is within, and it's up to us to really tap into that balance of being a spiritual being and a human, you know, having a human experience, and be able to really unfold our lives using our feelings, our gut, you know, our in-tuneness with our intuition, using our ashe, using our power to really live a life that is beautiful. And that's what we're here for. At the end of the day, we all have purposes. Oh, my purpose is to do this, do this, do this. But when we peel back the doing, you know, the purpose in life is to fulfill that gut feeling that you feel, or to live that reality of whatever brings you peace, love, joy, happiness, and brightness to this world. That's our purpose. You know, what brings you peace? What brings you happiness? What brings you joy? What brings you inspiration? What makes you feel like, you know, I want to wake up thinking about it and go to sleep thinking about it, because it makes me so happy and fulfilled. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, to tap into our inner self and be able to figure out what that is and live that life fearlessly, you know, with so much courageousness, so much confidence, that's what we would call it. The last one, but certainly not least, is the crown chakra. Anytime I thought about crown chakra, I thought about this white crown over my head, and that's what the crown chakra is. It's really that area right here on top of your head and above, right up in here. It's that portal between you and the Most High, you know. So that's what crown chakra is all about. I wanted to give some keywords around that chakra. And listen to this. It says, from here, the crown chakra, through the realm of thoughts and consciousness, we can connect with the divine and transform the physical. That is where we can connect with the divine and transform the physical through that consciousness. You know, that's that intuition telling you something, and your consciousness helping you to move and emote and speak and do whatever else that you need to do in order to manifest that physically. And so that is your connectivity to the divine. That is your connectivity to the divine. And I studied a lot about subconscious, conscious, superconscious, your ego. Crown chakra really challenged me on that ego part. When you hear ego, you know, it's like, oh, she got her ego is just off. It's not such a bad thing. The necessity is balance. We can't operate always in our ego. Our ego is that human self, that identity. I am. This is who I am. You know, we get things placed on us as children. We acquire labels placed on us as young adults and adults, and we end up taking things on. And so some of the first things we ask each other is, "Whoa, who are you? What do you do? You know, who am I?" Or somebody may ask you, "Who am I?" Or even in kindergarten, when children first come to school, it's, "Who am I?" You know, so you have these labels. But the labels are words that were created that can never really truly explain all the essence of who we really are. You know, we don't even have the words for it. I'm in my 30s and I'm still seeking and searching and realizing and becoming and gaining understanding about who I am, my whole of me, you know. So this crown chakra really challenges you to connect with your higher self and bring that balance. So I love the work that I was doing with the crown chakra. It was a lot of studying that I was doing, definitely. It was so divine because I ran into some books that were so in line. I wasn't even looking. Somebody was reading something else and I was like, oh, let me check that out. And it was talking about ego. It's a book by Eckhart, I think that's his name, talking about ego, how we are so connected to ego, and we need to disconnect from the ego as much as we can. Let me change that. Let me take that back. Not totally disconnect from the ego. Don't be so attached to it where you can't find balance between your human self and your spiritual self. You know, and all of the chakras are really challenging us to do that. And listen to this about the crown chakra. It says, the voice of our inner being calls attention to our state of being. It's that part of us that seems to look down as if from afar, allowing an objective perspective. So with that crown chakra, when in tune, when things are happening in your life, you're able to kind of step back. You're not so caught up in it where you're not able to see the divinity in all that is happening. From the smallest thing, like things working out for you in situations, to things not working out for you in situations. Are you able to remove yourself from this human side of things, from your ego, and really see, you know, the divinity in everything? So, you know, several things challenged us to do that. The heart chakra certainly challenged us to do that. And the crown chakra, what I found was generally those chakras, the heart, the crown, the sacral, kind of work together. You know, they do. Usually if something is impacting the sacral chakra, it's going to impact the heart, it's going to impact the crown chakra. So that's powerful. How you know it's closed or blocked is depression, as some of the other chakras, unhealthy attachments, closed-mindedness. You get so stuck on one theory, one objective, one perspective. Obsessions with truths. You know, this is the truth. And if you don't believe in this truth, something's wrong with you, or, you know, something's bad gonna happen. Or you feel alienated, you feel alone, like you're the only person who is sane in this world. When it's over, or when it's overactive, you feel overly focused on intellectual pursuits. Like you just are so caught up in intellectualizing everything, or finding the practicality in everything. You have addictions to spiritual practices, disassociation from the body. You don't even feel like you're here anymore. I'm not even here no more. I'm on a whole other plane. I can't even deal with this human stuff. It's not the reason why we're here. We're here for the balance of things. We're here to get in tune with our spirit and then live it out in our human expression in such a beautiful way. All the beautiful ways that we can live it out, you know, and that's what we're here for. Oh, so the meditation for this one was so powerful. I loved it. So the visualization was, you know, you sit, you breathe, you get yourself balanced, you get yourself in tune, you get your mind clear, then you visualize a white light coming through the ground, up through all of your chakra centers, through your crown chakra, up into the skies, past the skies, into space, and out into the galaxy. That's so connected. Like, I can so visualize that coming through the earth, shooting through all of my chakras, coming out up into the sky, spreading outward, going up out into space, out into the galaxy, connecting me and my energy to everything around me, helping me to realize that I vibrate and I'm magnetic. And so I want to vibrate goodness, I want to vibrate beauty, love, healing, and I want to attract all of those things as well. So that crown chakra meditation was powerful. So all in all, this journey was very beautiful. Oh, for the crown chakra, I used frankincense and rose. I put it in a little spring water, put a little witch hazel in there, the essential oils, put about 7 drops of each in there, shook it up, would spread around me, do my meditation that I just mentioned. It was powerful, powerful. So all in all, this was a beautiful journey. This is kind of summary of everything. I kind of mentioned as much as I could as far as summarizing what I learned from each. But please stay tuned, because there will be a book that's published. I will be giving my perspective on all of them, and I will be giving all the information from what I use to help balance the chakras, all the things that I learned, my different perspectives, some testimonials. I'll be giving some things to do, the writing prompts that I use, the oils and the aura sprays and the spiritual baths that I created, the different flowers that I purchased, all of the different things that I use throughout this journey. I will be creating a book or booklet, a guide. So definitely stay tuned to my website, queenyenn.com, or even here. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed this information. And I hope you got a lot from it. I'm prayerful that you will get into learning about your chakras and making sure they're balanced so you can live your very best life. And make sure when you do, you send me your testimonials so that I can be inspired. I love testimonials. They very much so inspire me. So stay tuned to the website, queenyenn.com. Of course, I'm on all the social medias. If you just type in Queen, Y-E-N-N, you will find me. Again, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video if it was helpful. And I speak so much love, peace, joy, abundance over all of our lives so that we continue to live the very best life that we can while we are experiencing this human experience. Much peace, many blessings.